Students, this is Professor S.H. Vandaru from CSMS's College of Polytechnic, and today we'll be studying JFET, that is junction field effect transistor. So there are two types of transistors basically, that is bipolar and unipolar. So JFET comes under the category unipolar transistors. So what is exactly unipolar? In such devices, the current conduction takes place only due to one type of carrier, that is, it can be either due to holes or electrons. Whereas in BJT, the current conduction takes place due to both the carriers, that is, electrons and holes. So, as basically you can see, JFET has three terminals, that is, gate, drain, and source. And the central portion is known as channel. That is, if this channel is made up of N-type material, then the field effect transistor is known as N-channel FET. And likewise, if the channel is made up of P-type semiconductor material, then the field effect transistor is also known as P-channel FET. So in case of N-channel FET, the channel is made up of N-type material. And the two small P-type regions are fabricated near this channel. And if you see the structure, this N-type material is a major part of the entire structure. So through the ohmic contact, the top of the N channel is connected to the drain terminal and the bottom of the N channel is connected to the source terminal. And two P-type regions are connected together to the gate terminal. So in this N channel JFET, due to this P-type regions, two PN junctions are formed. And due to that, the depletion region is also formed near this junction. Now whenever we apply the voltage between the drain and the source terminal, then the current starts flowing through the device between the drain and the source terminal. And by applying the voltage between this gate and the source terminal, this current can be controlled. So the working of the JFET can be explained using the tap water analogy. So as we know, in case of a tap water, the water flows from the source towards the drain. And the flow of water can be controlled using this knob. So similarly, in case of JFET, the voltage between the gate and the source terminal controls the current which is flowing between the drain and the source terminal. So now let's exactly see how this JFET works by taking example of this N-channel JFET. And let's also see what should be the exact polarity of the voltage between this drain and the source terminal, as well as between gate and the source terminal. So first of all, let us assume that this gate and the source terminals are connected together. So as you can see over here, the source terminal is connected down and both the gate terminals are connected together. Now here in this N-channel JFET, the voltage between this drain and source is positive. Now let's say this voltage VDD is applied between this drain and this source terminal. So this voltage VDS should be positive. That means the drain terminal should be more positive than this source terminal. So now once we apply this voltage, then the electron starts flowing from source terminal to the drain terminal. And if you see the conventional current, then the current starts flowing from drain to source terminal. So here, let's say ID is the current which is flowing into the drain terminal. And the IS is the current which is flowing out of the source terminal. And as you can see, this current ID is equal to IS. So instead of defining these two currents separately, we will only define this as drain current ID. So now considering this VGS is equal to 0 and VDS is positive, let's see how this N-channel FET will work. So whenever this VDS is positive, then these two PN junctions will become reverse biased. And due to this reverse bias connection, the width of the depletion region will increase. Now if you notice over here, the depletion region is wider at the top of the portion, whereas it is narrower at the bottom of the portion. So first of all, let us understand the reason behind it. Now during the operation, this N-channel acts like a resistor. And let's assume the uniform resistance throughout this N-channel. So this N-channel can be modeled as a series of distributed resistors between the drain and the source. And whenever this drain current ID flows, then there will be a voltage drop across each resistor. So let's say the voltage at the top end is equal to 2 volt. And as we move towards the source terminal, then there will be a voltage drop across each resistor. And due to that, the upper region of the P-type material will be more reverse biased compared to the lower region. And we had seen in the earlier video, as we increase the applied reverse voltage, the width of the depletion region will also increase. So due to that, the depletion region is wider at the top portion and it will be narrower at the bottom portion. So in short, due to the applied voltage VDD, these two PN junctions will become reverse biased. And due to that, only a small amount of reverse saturation current will flow through this PN junction. And for the practical case, we can consider that the current Ig through this gate terminal is equal to 0. So due to this reverse biased PN junctions, the input impedance of this JFET is very high. So now, as we increase this voltage VDS from 0 to few volts, then the current which is flowing through the channel will increase. And if we plot this current ID versus VDS, then initially it will almost look like a straight line. This curve ID versus VDS is known as the output characteristics of the JFET. For some time it is also known as drain curves. So as you can see, for the low voltages, this curve is an almost a straight line, meaning that for the lower voltages, the lower resistance of the channel remains almost constant. But if we keep on increasing this voltage VDS, then the width of the depletion region will become wider, and due to that, the channel will become narrower and narrower. So due to this reduced channel width, now this channel resistance will also increase. And that is also evident from the graph. So if you see this region on the graph, slope of the line changes, it becomes more and more horizontal. So basically it indicates that as we increase the voltage VDS, then it will increase. And now if we increase further the voltage VDS, then at one particular voltage, the depletion regions will touch each other. So this condition is known as pinch-off voltage. And the voltage at which this occurs is known as pinch-off voltage. Let's denote this pinch-off voltage as Vp. Whenever this VDS is greater than or equal to Vp, then pinch-off condition will occur. So the name pinch-off suggests once this condition occurs, then the current ID should drop to 0. Because now there is no path for the charge carriers to flow from this side to that side. But in reality, if you see, it's no condition such like that. And in fact, once the pinch-off condition is reached, the current ID reaches the saturation. So let's understand why it is so. So first of all, let us assume that once the pinch-off condition is reached, then this condition ID is equal to 0. So if that is the case, then the absence of the drain current would remove the possibility of the different potential levels across this N channel. And due to that, the reverse bias across the PN junction would be removed. And that would result in the loss of depletion region, which causes a pinch off at the first place. So basically, this current ID will become 0. And in fact, at the pinch off voltage condition, this current ID is the maximum current. So this saturation current is denoted as ID suffix SS. And IDSS is the maximum current of the JFET whenever the VGS is equal to 0 and VDS is more than pinch-off voltage. So whenever this VDS is more than this pinch-off voltage, then the current which is flowing through the device is almost constant. And in this region of operation, the JFET acts as a constant current source, as you can see over here. So basically under this region of operation, we will get a constant current. Now so far in our discussion, we have assumed that the voltage VGS is equal to 0. But as discussed earlier, this gate to source voltage can control this drain current. So now let's see how the voltage level of VGS can control the drain current. Or in a way, how it can affect the drain curves or the output characteristics of this JFET. So now what we'll do, we'll make this VGS more and more negative with respect to 0. And we'll find the drain currents for the different values of the VGS. Let us assume VGS is equal to minus 1 volt. So due to this negative voltage, now the depletion region will get created across this PN junction. And as we go on increasing this voltage between the drain and the source, then the width of the depletion region will go on increasing. But now the pinch off voltage, saturation or drain current will be reached due to lower voltage of VDS. Because due to this negative voltage of VGS, the PN junction is already reverse biased. So in case of VGS is equal to minus 1 volt, if you see the drain curve, then it will look something like this. As you can see, as VGS equal to minus 1 volt, the saturation value of this has been reduced. And in fact, it will continuously reduce. Once we reduce the value of VGS below this 0 volt, as we can see, if we reduce the value from minus 1 to minus 2, then further this saturation value of the drain current will also reduce. And whenever this VGS is equal to minus VP, then the saturation current will essentially become 0. So this region of operation is known as cutoff region of operation, that is below 0. Or we can say that whenever this VGS is equal to minus VP, at that time the device is said to be turned off. So in this way, JFET can be operated in 3 different regions, that is ohmic, saturation and cutoff. So in this ohmic region, the JFET will work as a resistor. And for the fixed value of VGS, it provides almost constant resistances. But as we reduce the value of this VGS, then the resistance of the channel will also increase. So basically this region, the JFET can be operated as a variable resistor. And by changing the value of voltage between the gate and the source, we can control the resistance of this JFET. And then the second region is called saturation. In this region, whenever this drain to source voltage or VDS is more than this pinch off VP, at that time the drain current will almost remain constant. And the third region of operation is the cutoff. Whenever this VGS is greater than or equal to VP, at that time this drain current ID will be approximately equal to 0. And we can say that the device is almost turned off. So apart from these 3 regions, as we can see, there is one more region known as breakdown. So it should be always avoided. This can be covered in the next lecture. So I am concluding in this. So if you have any comments or if you have any doubts, please let me know. Thank you.